This for all my Motown Sports Dads, repping every game with the fields and the courts. Keeping every schedule in the notepad. Rocking team merch and a sports cap. This for all my Motown Sports Dads, repping every game with the fields and the courts. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. Courtesy of Motown Madness. Courtesy of Motown Madness. Can't you see it's Motown Madness? Can't you see it's Motown Madness? Courtesy of Motown Madness. Courtesy of Motown Madness. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. This for all my Motown Sports Dads. Yeah. Motown Madness family, was good? Y'all know we back. Like the homie said, we back. We back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, welcome to Motown Sports Dad, the podcast, man. Man, to keep it simple and short, we just here to help dads navigate the life as a sports dad with balance and ease, man. So many stresses being a sports dad, giving y'all a place for us all to come to and just, feel like we're in a safe space while, dropping some jewels, man, put you up on game, you dig? But you got me, Marcel B, the MC. Definitely glad to be here. Got the man of the people, Suburban Joe himself, and everything is magic with Coach T. What up, fellas? What up?
What up? Let's go.
Man, so look, let's catch the people up. We do that every time, man. So, I was, all fair. We talked about it. Y'all, over the past week, y'all sent me so many visuals with the boys, man. I kind of got a little jealous and felt like, man, I need to get out with my son, right? And so kind of catch the people up, Joe. What's been going on with you, man? Catch them up.
All right, man. We just got back from Kentucky. We spent half a week in Kentucky. Chris and I and Donnie and Marcy, we went to Kentucky. You know me, big bourbon guy. So we hit 19. Yeah, we hit 19 distilleries, some wineries, and man, it was awesome.
19?
19.
Hey, so we did. Hey, Joey, that's at least 19 shots of bourbon. At least.
Oh yeah, I did a tasting at every one.
So was that, Joe? How many? So you went to 19. How many per day did you hit?
Every day was a little bit different. I have to figure it out because
just one big blur.
Kind of ish. I'm trying to remember because we were in Frankfurt one day.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the Frankfurt area. Then we did a Lexington and Bardstown area, and then we did Louisville.
Nice.
And Louisville was cool. It was more urban style. All the distilleries are on kind of on the street. On the main road there. There's a few that are in the back roads, but they're all on a street. It's awesome. I sent you that picture. We hit this little it's kind of like a speakeasy. It's an Italian restaurant upstairs in the basement. You're going down the stairs. There's a big wine cellar, and then you go through this door, and it's a speakeasy. And they made some nice drinks in there, man. It was awesome. Nice. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Two things, Joe. Two things. First thing is, for that speakeasy, did you have to give a password to get into it?
No,
man?
Not for that one. You just walk in.
Nice.
No password there. You just go in. I never knew it was there. I mean, we've been to Louisville a couple times. We're walking by. It's like, oh, what's this place? We went in there. It was empty. It was early. And we were talking to the guy at the desk. He's like, yeah, we got a nice bar downstairs. I'm expecting just a bar. I didn't expect all that. I'm like, man, we ended up going back there in the evening. But just going in, and we did the Italian restaurant upstairs. I got the seafood risotto.
Nice,
man. Let me tell you, that was good. Heck yeah.
That's what's up. And then the other thing, Joe, please tell me you have that bottle of Angel's Envy.
I do.
I'm gonna, man. Yeah, let's see that, man. Come on, man.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Triple oaked, engraved with some Bourbon Joe on that.
That's so dope. So dope, Joe. So dope, man. So Coach T, man, what about you, man? Catch the people up, bro.
Hey, first of all, y'all be looking out for that Suburban Joe show, man, because we shooting it. We back in the lab with it. And he already got most. He did the heavy lifting, 19 different distilleries. He did the heavy lifting. So
That's
get ready.
crazy.
Suburban Joe, get ready to tap in with us. We back.
For sure.
Go.
But so what was you saying though?
What's going on with you, man? Catch him up, bro.
Man, everything. Basketball, baseball, family, work, life of a sports dad.
Yes, sir.
Track. Don't forget track.
Track was awesome, man. We off to the races with track. I required all of my boys, coaches. Here I go, giving you game. But we're gonna charge it to the game.
Yes, sir.
I'm requiring all my boys to run track with their school.
Okay.
And so what that does for them is it's a great secondary sport to basketball. You know, they're learning how to explode. They're learning how to run properly. They're learning how to breathe. They're learning the next level of stretching and warming up their bodies. And so it's a great tool to get, to activate that side of it. So we got the boys doing that. So I got to go to my track meets to make sure these boys running. You know what I mean? I stay on top of it. I'm like a hawk, man. You never know when Coach T popping up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the last meet I went to, I had 8 players running it. 2 different schools, 8 of my Magic boys. So it was a great time. It was electric. They running everything, 100s to the 400s to everything, man. They out there. And they all winning. TJ got him one. TJ got him the Kaden. One of the races came down to Kaden versus Dan, and Dan took the lead early, but then Kaden edged him out at the end. I think we got some footage of that. Roll that for you right quick so you can see.
Yeah. Let them see that real quick and see how this race started and then how it finished, man.
Oh yeah. So these 2 guys, they go to 2 different schools. One of them go to Algonquin, and then the other one is with Iroquois. And so man, just great to see these guys in different ways be athletic and competitive and learning. That's what I love the most. I don't care if they winning or losing. I just want them to learn the technical aspect. Baseball is huge right now. We're back. We back. It's opening season. We kicked ours off at in Wixom at the Total Stadium. We did good. We ended up losing to a really, really tough Ann Arbor A's team by 1 point.
Wow.
It's only 6 innings. It was the bottom of the 6th, full count, last pitch, 0-0. Dion was at the plate, threw my man a changeup, and bro put it right in the gap. And the run support couldn't recover fast enough, and it ran a runner in. So it was a heartbreaker. But anyway, it was great to see our boys play AAA level defense, and so I'm excited about the season. We kicking off. That's where we at. That's my catch up.
Nice, man. Sounds like some super competitive stuff going on, man. Exciting. You sent me some of this footage, man, and you can't help but be excited just watching it, just feeling that as a dad, but also just as a lover of sports. You like to just see people compete at a high level, man. So hearing all that is super dope. For me, sports dad commitment has been more about planning. I talked to you guys about we have an aggressive travel schedule coming up. This weekend, Tampa, next weekend, Colorado, the weekend after that, Alabama, and then I think Florida. So more local than anything. And then I think there's a break in June, and then we have like Vegas, West Virginia, July. And MJ has been either at practice or working twice a week with his trainer. Shout out Coach Cortez. And he's working on strength and explosiveness for MJ. And I'm watching his physique transform along with, he just carries himself like an athlete now. He carries himself like an athlete. Everything is about the game. We're always talking about the game. And he's starting to notice, he's starting to get into the terminology of the game when you're high level at it, right? Not some of the stuff that I don't even know, so it's pretty dope to watch. Unfortunately, yesterday at the court, had his foot stepped on as he was trying to pull away, and found out he has a small hairline fracture in his toe. So he goes back to be evaluated in 2 weeks. So hope, That's already a good sign that it wasn't like 4 to 6, because usually a break, that's 4 to 6 at least. It's just tough because he broke his wrist in December, and that kind of had him out. And then he's been back since February, and now to be out again is kind of tough. So, but um, the conversation we had was around pivoting. As everybody watched in episode 4, it was about pivoting, right? The moments that you take an unplanned event and you find a way, or you find the positioning and the perspective from it is key. And so I talked to him and just basically told him, his challenge now is to see how he can still stay committed to the game while not being able to physically play like he wants to. He can work on his arms, he can work on his chest, he can watch more film, he can watch more games. It's more mental challenges. His trainer's so dope. I know he'll still find ways and work for him to do, but it's just tough. So, and then once an injury happens to your kid, it affects the whole family in different ways. So may not, probably not gonna be able to do the traveling that we intended, but it's a lot of basketball left in the season and in his career period. So just got to get through it as a family, man. But that's really what's going on with me, man.
I know that. I know. So how does that make you feel? I mean, even because I think you just got that news today, right?
Yeah, within the past hour and a half.
Right. And so even having to hop on and record today, like, honestly, how did that make you feel, and how did you pivot?
So you feel like, first of all, you don't feel like doing anything, right? It's I think naturally as humans, we reach for what makes us comfortable during moments of pain. And so for me, it was, I don't want to do anything, maybe eat some junk food, maybe have a drink, leisure. And that's it today. I don't want to do anything that requires any more work than I already had to do to even get through this moment. That's work. It takes more, because I gotta get over. So I'm glad you asked this. So here's the transparency of it. MJ was done playing basketball at the court. He put his Crocs on, which I had a conversation with him about not hooping in his Crocs.
Over and over again. Boys, real quick. Public service announcement. Please stop hooping in your Crocs.
Stop hooping in them.
I agree.
And your Yeezy slides. Bro, please stop. But go ahead.
And I'll tell you, was the orthopedist this morning told us don't wear them at all, not even casually. Said Crocs are not Crocs are not good for the feet. And so she said to not wear them at all. And so that was an eye opener, because all the kids are wearing Crocs. Walk in the gym, especially a basketball, even football, when they're not wearing their sports shoes, they're wearing Crocs. And so they're tearing their feet up, which could lead to, this is a whole nother subject. A lot of these NBA players have been having injuries, and it could be that because they're wearing the same thing. They're all wearing Crocs. But she said not to wear Crocs at all. So so he wore his Crocs. They was just shooting around and somebody stepped on his foot, and it's something for him to learn. So as a dad, the first feeling is disappointment, right? You didn't do what I told you to do.
You were irresponsible.
Yep, you were irresponsible. That's the first thought. But you have to bring yourself down to recognize the bad decisions you've made, over your life, and so it's like, man, do I take this opportunity to beat him up, or I just show him, hey, yeah, that was a bad decision and you got to learn from that, but there's literally nothing you can do about that decision now. It's made. Your choice right now is how you handle this and get through this. But this is all a process as a dad to first get over the disappointment and then be there for him in a way that's constructive and actually contributes to something, not cuss him out, not just beat him up. That doesn't help, So you got to get to that space. And then it's all right. Now, how do we fix it? I got to get him to the doctor. We got to figure out what's wrong. And then once we get the bad news, because I could tell the doctor didn't even want to say he was going to, she didn't want to tell him he was going to be out. And I told her, I said, Doc, you got to shoot it to him straight. And that's when she told him 2 weeks. I could see the disappointment in his face. So I got to be there for him and, and constantly just reinforce and you know what I'm saying? And so support. And so we had more conversations, But that's an entire. So this is between 6 o'clock in the evening yesterday and 9:30 in the morning today, right? And so by the time I get through all that, hell no, I don't want to do anything else. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do anything
No, I
else.
agree.
Turn a camera on and record. No way. But you again, and it's constant. You have to step out of yourself. Our show are for other sports dads that are going through the same thing. So if we could share this story with them and it helps them navigate this same, because injuries are a part of the game. They happen all the time. Whether your child was being a knucklehead or not listening and triggered it, or it just happens because injuries happen in sports. It's a situation a lot of you dads out there are going to go through. We go through it. And so we can just help you through that, provide you with some heads up and ways and tools to get through it, and let you know that you're not in it by yourself. That's what made me turn the camera on today, knowing that you guys out there need it. So that's a good question.
100%, because that happened to Jeremy too, right? He was screwing around one day, at our old house, and there was a big step down. We were talking about this before the show. A big step, and we had a decent sized step out of our side door. He came out and landed on his foot wrong, fractured his ankle, and that was when baseball playoffs were just starting. Wow. Missed the whole playoffs, right? Yeah, we still, Jeremy went to all the games, sat with his teammates on the bench. Yeah. And then after playoffs were done, we had a vacation planned. We went on vacation. We were in West Virginia on our way to North Carolina to go to a beach vacation. He was in a boot, but you know what? Kept his mind off everything. And by the time we got back, it's like, mentally he was good. You know what I mean?
Hey, so one thing I do want to say that I heard you say, you said you still went to the games, regardless if you were able to play or not. I think that's very important, sports dads, to whether your son is playing in that game, whether your kid is playing in that game or not, to still be there. Have them on the bench, have them supporting the team, have them dapping people up, cheering. This is how we teach them things outside the game, but a part of the game. So this is how you make them a strong teammate. This is how you teach them character. You know what I mean? These are the things. These are the nuggets that we're gonna drop along the way. Because as a coach, whenever I see players on the bench and they're there, and even though they can't suit up, oh man, it says so many things to me about not only the player but also about the family.
Yes, sir. Yep. It boosts the morale for sure, man.
For sure.
So yeah, man. All right, man, fellas. What's on tap? Sponsored by Suburban Joe, the podcast. Y'all know I love that podcast. If you watched episode 4, y'all see in that commercial from the Suburban Joe show. And y'all know just from that footage alone how great that show is. So make sure y'all tap into Suburban Joe on all podcast platforms, including YouTube, man. Make sure you check the show out. Well, what's on tap, fellas? What we got from a local standpoint, man? We dive into Macomb County. What's popping, man? What's going on up there?
Yeah, so I'll hop in first because, again, man, we talked about it earlier. This is travel baseball season.
Yes, sir.
Baseball season, period. The Tigers is hot right now. Clinton Valley, CVLL, and Macomb, the rec leagues, everybody's getting ready for baseball. As long as the weather can cooperate a little bit, because it could be spring, winter, summer, fall, all in the same day in Michigan. And so we're experiencing
in the Midwest, especially
Midwest period, right? And so it's rough. You know what I mean? Like, you standing there and you can't tell what season you standing in. So, but it's hot. It's hot. And so, in honor of kicking off this season, man, I'm gonna give you my 2025 11U, because right now that's where my kid at. So that's what I can speak to.
Shout out to Bubs.
11U watch list. Shout out to Prime. You know what I mean? So this is my 11U watch list now.
And come on with it.
I'm coming with it, and it's from a AAA perspective. So check me out, guys. Okay. All right, and it's in alphabetical order, not in no other order, not in a power ranking order, not in a rank. I'm not ranking them. I'm just telling you the teams you better watch out from. All right.
I like that discretion. I like that discretion.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
because like totals on the list, but they down to the bottom, but that's because they start with T. You know what I mean? Not because they at the bottom. Because to me, they number one. You dig? All right, here we go. Ann Arbor A's Myers. Watch out from them. Them boys' defense is on point. So far, they're undefeated, and they are tough out. All All right. D-backs Elite Murphy. We got a little bit of bad pass between us and them, but it's all competitive and all love. I ain't gonna get into that right now. You know what I mean? But watch out for them D-backs Elite. All right. Then you got the Detroit Metro Stars, the Wolf team. All right. Now I ain't gonna lie. I tried to recruit they pitcher this morning before I got on this show, and it's funny because I said, should I wait till mid-season to recruit Cam? And his dad said, what's funny? I was going to ask you the same thing about Prime. So, what I mean? It's going down. All right. So we got the Detroit prospects. Now the Benito squad is the one. All right. So that's the one that our man, Coach Dave Volpini on with B-Man. So watch out for them prospects, right? Then you got Fuji Red. It's hard to find them, but when you do, boy, you better get ready because they coming with it.
Yes,
so
sir.
On top of that, we got 2 Motor City Hit Dog teams that I want you to watch out from right now. Colo. Okay, my man Jordan Rodriguez. What's up, boy? I seen you pitch. And every time he get up, it's a double. They ain't playing no games. And then we got my man Max and them over there. Coach Cardell, they going crazy. Now, you got the Motor City Hit Dogs Leonard. Now, these guys, they actually one of the top national teams. So you got to watch out from them, period, no matter where you at. They traveling everywhere. PKP Waves, Carolina. They out cold, too. I got some folks over there. Logan, I see you, man. And then, of course, my home team, Total Elite Baseball. All right, we on our way. We rising. You better keep an eye on us, especially with Prime and Zach pitching. Them boys something else.
Yes,
and then
sir.
the Warriors Baseball Club. All right, so them my teams right there. The Warrior Baseball Club. We playing at Warriors Park tomorrow. I don't think they'll be there, but we'll be in their stadium running the tournament tomorrow. So look, those are my 11U teams that you better watch out for in the 2025 season. That's what I got.
Nice. I think you said the tournament starts at 8:00 in the morning, man.
Yeah, man. Prime got a pitch, and I got the word that he's got the nod at 8:15 a.m.
Sheesh.
So you gotta love those early morning games, man.
Oh man. So you know what? I got a little film of how me and him start the day. You know what? Let's roll that for the people so you can see. We get up. I barely be alive myself. I'm trying to get out the door. I'm trying to just really get my mind together. So that I can help him get his mind together. So we can get out there and warm up. So check it out, man. This is us coming out the back door right there in my backyard. If you look across the fence, you'll see where Joey stay. Yeah. Joey Price standing there with his cup of coffee, making sure we do everything just right. You know what I mean? But this is how we start our day. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna be up at about, because if it started at 8:15, we got to be there at 7:15.
Yep.
So I'm probably gonna be up at 6:15, making sure that this guy is already got his reflexes warmed up, his heart rate up, all that, so that he can go out and pitch a good game. So.
Nice, man. What you got, Joe? What you got for what's on tap with Joe, man?
All right, man. Hey, you know what? We started off with the weather in the Midwest, right? And the way it is, so this is truth, right? Baseball, soccer, they both start early spring, right?
Yeah.
So many games, it's raining, snowing. I mean, sun shining, all that in one day. I mean, you just don't know what the heck's going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, so we, back when we were traveling a lot, we went to Kentucky, and we had a tournament in Kentucky, and I'll never forget this, man. We were there, and we were so excited to go to Kentucky. This was one of the last years of travel soccer, and we wanted to go to Kentucky because, bourbon, and a lot of us like bourbon. A lot of the parents, we wanted to go out there and drink and have a good time. It's more about us half the time. The kids got all day to themselves. Right. We want some time to ourselves. We were so happy to go to Kentucky in the spring, thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to be 60 there. And nope. Well, there's some pictures there. It was hailing. Justin's that little dot in the middle of the hail way back there. And you'll see Chris, in that little sports pod, So, and then there's been days even for baseball, Jeremy played ball in Ohio in college, and it was wide open, just an open field, and it was always breezy. And, so it was great. We bought that little sports pod, So what I'm going to talk about today is, like gadgets for dad, right? Mm-hmm. Gadgets for dad. So nice. The sports pod, right? I don't sit at all when I'm at a game. I'm pacing, like for real. If we played games at the same place all the time, you'll see a line. I'm like that dog next door, that's got that path along the fence line that's barking. Now that would be me, right? Like I'm always pacing, you know. So my kid's pitching, man, I'm pacing. Justin played goalie, man. I literally paced. I mean, that kid got so many concussions and whatever. I never sat, but let me tell you guys, sports pod. You've seen the pictures. I'm gonna say, guys, if nothing else, it'll put you on the good side with your lady, right?
Nice.
They get to sit in there nice and warm, even if it's you know, the sun's out, but it's cool. They're in there out of the wind. You know, when it's raining, a little bit of drizzle, you can stay dry. You know, so guys, sports pod, especially if you guys are playing baseball, soccer, they're great to have, right? Mm-hmm. So then another one is the folding wagon, right? Folding wagon is great, you know, because, you know, like Tarmel, you know, he knows. He's got the little one, right?
Yeah, Jordan.
You don't want to be carrying him around with all the chairs and everything, right? So you could put Jordan in there with all the chairs and all the other stuff, blank, you know what I mean? Whatever you have to, and you can wheel them from the, you know, wherever, from the parking lot to the field, right? Yep. And they're compact, you know, it's compact. It fits in your car, no problem, you know? So, you know, I'm going to say folding wagon, right? The next thing is solar charger power bank, right? So it's kind of nice, you know, because you're out in the field for hours, right? Like Tarmel said, he's got an all-day tournament tomorrow, right? Yep. A lot of times you may not find power anywhere, right?
Yeah.
These things are great. We travel with them all the time. One Christmas, I bought the whole family one.
Yep.
You know, and they're nice because you just, you know, and even like when you're out in the sun, you just lay it down and it's it's charging the battery again in that thing.
Yeah. My wife swears by those power banks.
And
yeah, you need them, right?
Look, especially because if you're recording the games, you know what I mean? At tournament recording, by the time you get to that second game,
kill that battery.
Yep. And could you imagine Jordan without his without his tablet?
No.
Be driving you crazy sometimes. You need a little bit of time yourself,
drive you
right?
crazy with it. He drive you crazy with it.
Right.
Yeah. So here's another thing I wish I would have bought earlier. We were in a tournament, a baseball tournament. I think it was in Virginia, and we were driving to a baseball field to this field, and it was back in the woods. You know, like the town was back in the woods, and we're driving, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, an alert came up that my tire pressure was low. Mm. And here I am. I'm like, ain't no gas stations anywhere. It's like, what are we going to do? Well, we were fine. We got out, and I filled the thing up. But, you know, there's a thing out there. It's the portable emergency power kit. Mm. So it basically, you know, there's jumpers on it to where you can jump the car. You know, it's even got an air pump on it. And the other day, I brought my camper home, and my tires on the camper were, you know, like 10 pounds short, you know, 10 PSI short on each. I never really used it for it, but man, it filled each one up. And on it comes with a bag of accessories to fill like basketballs or footballs, or even an air mattress. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you know, like I said, you can you know, it's got all sorts of stuff with it. And it's even got dual USBs in it, right? So something to think about. So when you're out there, just to have extra power, you know, and just for your, you know, it makes you feel a bit more comfortable when you're driving around, you know?
Yeah.
Especially, you know, you were saying, Marcel, you guys got all these trips. I mean, I bring it everywhere. Yeah. You know, I keep it in a little duffel bag and along with the first aid kit, and it comes with me on every trip we take. Right?
We have that little device to inflate the tires too. We have that.
Yeah.
Man, I can't tell you, just if you know, sometimes, man, you walk out to a flat tire in the driveway, and just being able to, you know, fill your tire up to get you to a tire spot or something like that is super useful, man. I love that thing.
Oh, for sure. So the next thing I got is a sand-free waterproof blanket. So, this is great,
that was
right?
a mouthful. No diddy.
Well, I know, right? So anyways, we were when we were traveling to Florida, every spring, Jeremy played in Florida every spring. So first year we went, I'm like, man, we need something to sit on. Can't bring chairs with me. So I found these blankets first year, and I brought it, and we just threw them down. They were like and we can also use them at the beach. And you can see the bag is super small. You can fold it up and it's super small. It fits in your suitcase. You can bring it everywhere with you, and, it's not like the other blankets where you got to try to get the sand off. The sand just falls right off. You know what I mean? And they dry really quick. They're kind of nice to have, And the other thing I got is a waterproof dry bag. Hey, we all know baseball, soccer, whatever, it's going to rain, and a lot of times, you got your phones with you. Maybe, there's a book out, you guys got books or whatever. You could put it in there and it'll stay dry. I bring a kayak in with me and nothing gets wet. So, yep. So that's what I got for y'all.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Good job, Joe, man. So look,
Thanks.
to all the moms watching the show, that list that Joe gave were not Father's Day ideas. That wasn't what that was. That got nothing to do with Father's Day. Bro, don't try to take those. Those are necessities for the family. Get that man something special for Father's Day. None of those items were Father's Day gifts. None of those.
That's right.
But if you need any of them, it's going to be in our description on the YouTube page with the affiliations.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Click the link and buy it from in the description below, because we're looking out for the dad. So we want to give y'all the cheat codes
for sure
that we didn't learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Joe's naturally way more handy than I am.
Right. Me too.
Joe's handy as hell, right? And so, but that's necessary as a dad, and the women, they makes them feel safe. So when Joey dropped these lists on you, man, you better make sure you jot them down and considering them, because they're great recommendations.
For sure, man. That's the fellas with What's on Tap, sponsored by Suburban Joe. And let's go ahead and hop into a word from one of the sponsors of the show. Shout out my man Lino with Lino Realty, man. Let's check out a word from them.
If you're an entrepreneur like me and looking for the perfect location for your next big idea, call Lino Realty, 586-263-5111. Again, 586-263-5111. Lino Realty is a family-owned business started in 1983. They got over 40 years in the commercial real estate space. I mean, we go to these guys for everything. Market insight, what's the best approach, if I need something with a drive-through, just everything. I mean, their market knowledge and expertise all but ensures successful transactions for owners. Although they do a ton of business all over, especially downtown, they do a magnificent job in representing Macomb County. We highly recommend you give them a call for all your commercial real estate needs. Look them up, linorealty.com. That's LINOREALTY.com.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Lino, man. Actually, Lino is our neighbor. I love Lino. He's like another dad to me. And so I remember when I first moved into the neighborhood, Lino really embraced me and made sure I felt comfortable, because over here it's an all Italian neighborhood. They built it up in that way from a business standpoint to, what a lot of these people in the houses they bought or built from the ground up. It's all designed beautifully with the Italian style, and so that's kind of like what this area is. And so, he embraced me and showed me around. And so shout out to my man Lino. Spent some great time on him, and he'll be on the show soon to talk to you.
Yeah, man. And he's such a great dad, man. Former Olympic swimmer, you don't really meet too many of those, man. And he's a great storyteller, amazing storyteller. So I can't wait to have him on the show, man. Shout out to Lino. Dad Gang, man. Dad Gang, fellas, sponsored by Dad Gang. You know what I'm saying? Apparel for men, made by men. If you want to get 15% off of the apparel with Dad Gang, make sure you hit that link in the description. I'm telling you, clean, man. Everything. If anybody asks me about Dad Gang, my first response is clean. Clean, very clean design approach, quality apparel, hats and hoodies and t-shirts. Make sure y'all tap in with the gang. No pun intended. You dig? So Dad Gang, fellas, I want to ask y'all a question, man. So we've been talking about various sports today. We got baseball, we got track. The boys from the Motown Magic had track meet this week. And bless you, Joe. So
thank you.
We got kids who play multiple sports. So, my question to y'all is, how do you guys navigate your kid playing dual sports? Joe, how did you handle that? I know you had that. And, is it possible, you think it's possible for them to do two at a high level? What's the boundaries like? Kind of walk us through that, Joe. Kind of, walk us through first how you navigated that with the boys from a dual sports standpoint.
Yeah, it was interesting, right? Especially when the sports that they liked are both at the same exact time, right?
Yeah.
It was Jeremy really loved, well, obviously, he loved baseball, but he also liked soccer. You know what I mean? And Justin did the same, and it was rough, because we were leaving soccer to run to baseball,
Wow.
the same day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yep. And then Justin would have his games, and so Chris and I, we were like, it was crazy. It got to the point where when it comes to the sports at the same time, it's really, really rough, and trying to keep grades and everything else. It got to the point where with baseball and soccer, it got to the point where Jeremy had to pick one or the other, because it really wasn't fair, because he didn't get to finish games, like soccer, right? Didn't get to hang out with his team afterwards because we had to take off and go to baseball. And then there's some days, obviously, he picked baseball over soccer, and it's not fair to your team, right?
Yep.
So so when it comes to that, you got to make a decision on which one you're going to do. Now like what Tarmel's doing with track and stuff, it's a whole different story. You can make that happen, right? But Justin, he did multiple sports and band at the same time. Like he did it for a few years. But soccer, once you start getting to a high level, when you start playing at a higher level in any sport, anything at the same time is pretty rough, and grades, trying to juggle school and friendships and everything that they wanted to do, just trying to be kids. It's not easy, but I like dual sports, especially if they're not at the same exact time, Yeah.
Sure. What about you, Coach T, man? Like, you think it's possible for the kids to do two sports at a high level? I know you actually got a dual sport child,
It's rough. It's rough, man. So it depends on the sport. I think that so here's my strategy. You should pick one sport that you want to be dominant in. And then after that, you should use other sports to either help you in that journey or give you a break to reset you from that journey. But you have to commit to one. It's just too much work to do. Your contemporaries are working every day, getting better, while you off doing something else.
Yeah.
It's just too much work to do in every sport.
Yeah.
So I think you should commit to one. That's the right thing to do for teammates and coaches. Respect the game. Go and get you one that you're going to hone your craft in. And then I think you should use other sports to improve that experience.
Yeah, I'm with y'all on this, man. So the only time I've really seen this really work is football and track. I've seen it be possible with like basketball, track, possible, but I've seen it work with football because those seasons are nowhere near each other. In high school and this, middle school, you only play football really outside of middle school, but as far as high school football and track, those seasons don't clash. Yeah. With basketball, I've seen some of MJ's AAU teammates miss games because the track meets were on Saturdays and not like during the week. So that's a clash. Here's a prime example. So we want MJ to grow his game and grow as an athlete, as a basketball player. This week, he had practice Monday from 7 to 9. Tuesday, he had his personal training session. Wednesday, he had practice from 7 to 9. By Thursday morning, he was so exhausted, he couldn't get up and go to school this week. He texted me and woke me up early in the morning and said, "Can I just get some sleep?" Right? He wanted to get and so I can't imagine him trying to play another sport right now in addition to that and get to school and all that kind of stuff. I just can't picture it. Now, possible, but you put a lot, the one thing I will say is if you do attempt it, and this is one thing God has shown me recently, he'll give you a primary mission or assignment, and then the side missions are always purposeful to strengthen the primary mission, right? So if you take a side mission, it better be with the focus to be better at that first thing. So if you play basketball and you go run track, basketball is primary, you run track with the purpose of being a better basketball player. That's the whole goal. You know,
Agreed.
like NBA 2K is the same thing. You build up this character, he does all these side missions to make him a better overall basketball player. That's got to be the, you know, the whole goal. But when that side mission tends to clash with that primary, you just can't have it. You know, it's a
Yeah,
threat.
yeah.
Now it becomes a threat.
And so as parents, we have to set boundaries, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's only so much money to go around, time, effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the kids are not going to stand this.
Yep.
You know, like they're going to want to play their sports.
Yep.
They're going to want to, and sometimes they want to do the travel thing and then play in the recreational thing with their friends.
For sure.
You got to set healthy boundaries so that we can do this for the long haul. Because if not, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yep. And the other thing is, though, too, is not only does it relate to sports, but it relates to life, right? Like Jeremy and I had a conversation today, you know. You know, he's got his little side hustle, which takes up a lot of his time. But, you know, he's been, you know, unfortunately trying to find a job and everything's been rough, you know. But we had to talk today about that. It's like, you know, you have to look at your primary goals, right? We just talked, you know, when you said that, it just clicked, right? You got to talk about your primary goals is getting a career, right? Yeah. You're selling your sports card is your side hustle, right? Yeah. But you can use that to help. But so not only does it matter in sports, but it matters in real life.
It's a
right?
principle. It's a principle to teach them now.
Yeah.
You know,
right. Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Priorities. Priorities. And that's super dope. So look, all my sports dads out there, tap in with us in the comments. How you feel about these kids playing more than one sport? Some kids play 3. You know what I'm saying? And how are y'all doing that at a high level? Is it
keeping your grades
down? Maybe it's stressing you out and you ain't told nobody. You know, let us know, man. You know, how do you feel about the kids playing dual sports? Tap in with us. Hashtag dual sports dad. You dig? Man, rapid fire. Yes, dad. No, dad. Fellas, let's get into it. This is what we hop into them Detroit sports, man. Some nostalgia, what we think. But we're going to really, you know what I'm saying? But it's quick hitting, man. We're going to get to it. And let me know what y'all think. Yes, dad, if you with it. No, dad, if you not. You dig? So, first one. Coach T. Pistons finished the year 44-38. Shout out to the Pistons, man.
Yeah.
Bringing life back to the city from a basketball standpoint. They finished 6th in the East. They got the Knicks the first round. I think that starts this weekend.
Yep.
They only won 14 games last year, man, which is crazy. Crazy turnaround. So proud of the team.
Yep.
Yes, dad, on this though. Do you think their season is already considered a success?
Yes, 100%. 100%. I mean, they tripled their win count. You know what I mean? So we back. The bad boys is back, man.
Yes.
Nice, Joe. What you thinking, man? Is the season already a success?
Yes, Dad. This is easy, right? Now, would I love the exclamation to take down those Knicks? Yes, Dad. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, when was the last time that we were excited, Tarmel, about watching playoff basketball? It's been a few years, right?
It's been a minute.
I mean, the other night, man, we were watching the playing games. Yep. We're just like, we watched the playing games. It's like, I can't remember the last time we were excited. And I think the Pistons have a lot to do with it, right?
Yeah. We talked about this last episode. The swagger of the Pistons is reinvigorating to the game of basketball. So it's a yes, dad, for me. You feel me? I just love it, and I think they can take the Knicks down in the first round. Of all the teams in the East, I think that's the one team we had their number all year. Now, playoff basketball is a different monster. But I really think this team is poised, got enough level of maturity to be able to take the Knicks down in the first round. But let's see, man. Let's see what can happen. All right, next one. So the Lions are rumored to be trading J-Mo on draft day, which is next Thursday. Coming up. It's around the corner. Joe, with our receiving core, man, would they be in trouble without J-Mo? Yes, dad, or no, dad?
No, dad. I'm good. I mean, you know what? I'd love to keep him. I would love to keep him. But if they trade him, that means they're going to get someone else. and we watched that Washington game, right? I'm going to go back to that Washington game. You know what? Goff, when he sees J-Mo out there, that's all he wants to do. You know what? Man, we got St. Brown, we got Laporta, we got just those two alone is enough. I mean, every now and then go downfield, right? But man, for some reason, when he sees J-Mo out there, man, he wants to launch at him all the time.
He force feed him, don't he?
Oh yeah, that's not Goff. Goff is St. Brown, Laporta, St. Brown, Laporta, and then a pass downfield a little bit. So,
but Joe, maybe that was Ben doing that with J-Mo and not really.
Yeah, it could have been.
Maybe that wasn't Goff. Maybe that was Ben.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't think, and I think that even if I don't think they're going to trade him. But I think even if they do, they have a plan. They're going to get another deep threat in the draft, and you know what I mean. So not worried, but I don't think he's gone though.
What about you, T, man? If we get rid of J-Mo, would the receiving core be in trouble without him?
I know that. Not at all. No. I mean, he's a wonderful talent, and he actually kind of fit in from a culture standpoint.
Yeah,
I agree. Pull up in the city, and so peace and love to him. But from a straight talent standpoint and a strategy standpoint, I don't think Jared Goff is a deep threat quarterback. I think that gets him in trouble, and I think that's what J-Mo brings to the table. He's a deep threat weapon. I think that Sam Laporta needs a lot more targets. I think we're underutilizing him as a tight end. He should be the number one tight end in the NFL right now. His number slipped a lot. We're waiting too long to get him going. And St. Brown is also a number one wide receiver in this league, and I still think he needs more touches.
I agree.
Rick Gibbs is dangerous out of the backfield, catching the ball. And so we have enough weapons and enough balls to go around. You know what I'm saying? And so love J-Mo. Hope we hold on to him and figure out how to use them or get plays, shorter routes, slants. But I think we'll be fine if it came down to it without him.
Man, I'm with every point y'all touched on. It's a no doubt from me. No. So, man, we got so many weapons on this team. And the one thing you hit on, T, is Laporta needs more targets, man. So if anything, less is more. I talked about this, losing Ben and Aaron, less is more. Now, I'm not saying we should get rid of J-Mo, but I think less would be more because, like Joe said, if we're getting rid of J-Mo, that means we're getting another critical piece that we may be missing. Hint, defensive end, hint, secondary need a little improvement, so that means we're getting something that we truly need. The one thing I do worry about is this is a group personnel wise. So I think there'd be a hit to chemistry in the locker room. These guys appear to be really tight and close. So that's the one thing. But they haven't really, I think they'd be even tighter if they won a championship together. And since we haven't done that yet, it's not like we're breaking up a championship team. I think we got the pieces to be that, but we haven't done it yet. So it's a no doubt for me.
Hey, one thing I want to say about Detroit sports, man. Shout out to Detroit sports because I think it's that Detroit versus everybody mentality. But man, our young talent is so tight right now. All our sports, they're all tight. They all look like they're inseparable, and they're all just balling out of their minds right now, man. So I'm just loving Detroit sports right now. We back.
And they all find ways to tap in with the city, like the culture of the city too, which is dope. And it's it's in getting to the staples of Detroit sports history. Next, yes, Dad, no Dad for you guys. Isaiah Thomas brought us 2 wings. Shout out to Zeke, man. Shout out to Zeke. And Barry Sanders is recognized as the best running back ever to most, if not all, folks, right? But the question is, for you, Joe, is did Zeke impact Detroit sports more than Barry? Yes, Dad, no Dad.
This is not going to go over well with a lot of people. And if my cousin's watching this, he's gonna want to hit me in the back of the head. Zeke.
So is it yes, Dad, from you?
Yeah, yes, Dad. Zeke. Yeah. I'm going with Zeke, right? Because Zeke did impact sports. I mean, look at that whole bad boy era, right? I mean, that was like the best. That was a great time, right? We've never had that with, unfortunately, we had so many Barry Sanders had a highlight reel all to himself, right? Like you can sit and watch Barry Sanders probably all day highlight reels, right? But we ain't got a championship, right?
Yep.
And Zeke was that leader, right? I mean, he was the leader, right? And man, I'm going with Zeke.
For sure. All right, T, man, it's on you, man. Did Zeke impact Detroit sports more than Barry? Yes, Dad, no, Dad.
Zeke had the most impact, and it's hard. It's hard for us to go against Barry in anything, and that's why I had to put on.
I see you, man.
I
see you.
I had to represent my man because I never seen nobody run the ball like that in my life.
For sure.
He was so good that you didn't even care if we were winning or not. And his career definitely got cut short before he achieved some of the goals that we would have wanted. But man, Zeke got 2 rings, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Zeke beat Jordan. Zeke beat Bird. You know what I'm saying? Zeke beat Magic. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So at the end of the day, I got, you know what I mean? Like, and whether it was easy to stay with the ball club or not, he stayed. He held it down, and he put us on the map and got us some rings. So as far as Detroit influence in sports, I gotta go Zeke over Barry Sanders, man.
Yes, sir, man. It's a yes, Dad, from me.
Sir.
Check it out. So this is how this boils down to this. 1989. That's all this boils down to. What is 1989? 1989 was the first year Barry Sanders was in the NFL. What's also 1989? The first year the Pistons won the championship. Barry got Rookie of the Year that year, but Isaiah brought a championship, right? And then he followed it up with another championship the following year. Barry couldn't get another Rookie of the Year in 1990, but Zeke got another championship in 1990, right? Zeke gave moments the entire city could celebrate and embrace and be etched in history forever. Barry gave us, some, like T said, some of the most amazing highlights, individual accolades that somebody could ever give the city. And so I always, championships it don't get no higher than championships. You know what I'm saying? It's such a team award.
And leadership, man.
Oh, man.
Like, I mean, I got to give it to Steph Curry because he reminds me of that while being a champion. People like Iverson gave me that, but couldn't quite break through that ceiling of being a champion. Steph Curry's figured it out, but since then, who else was small, strong, hard, in control, and being a champion? Like,
man. So, so that's just that, no doubt on that. Let's stay in that retro vein, though, fellas. Let's stay in that. This for all the sports dads, man. This is a special little thing for the sports dads. Yes, dad, no dad. Special edition retro. This is what I need from y'all. And I'm going to start with Joe, because Joe said he had his when we talked about this. Let me know, man, who was your TV crush coming up? Special edition, yes, dad, no dad. Who was
the
your
retro
favorite?
going back in the day? Yeah.
We're going to go back.
Man, I remember watching Charlie's Angels. This is easy. I mean, come on. You got Cheryl Ladd, Jacqueline Smith, and cannot forget Farrah Fawcett.
Nice.
Bro, come on. I gave you 3. Let's go.
Three. Joe with the 3-piece. Joe with the 3-piece. Man, T, who was yours, man? Who's your TV crush?
That's rough, man. Back in the day, that's real rough, man. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna drop 2 on you, man. First of all, Stacey Dash was crazy, man. I still don't understand the level of beauty, and then the age back then was crazy. Like, you would hear like she's older, but look, she played all the teenage roles, so that was pretty cool to see. But and the other one, Kelly Kapowski, man. Shout out to Kelly Kapowski.
Shout out Kelly.
Oh,
Zach Morris was but Kelly Kapowski, bro.
Man, so definitely had a few, fellas. Definitely had a few. This ain't a landslide at all, man.
No.
Man, Halle Berry, Topanga, you know what I'm saying? And I like Kelly, but I was at least a turtle cat, man. Lark Voorhees, man. You know what I'm saying? So many, man. So many. But I remember when it was at one point there was the Toni Braxton versus Janet Jackson conversation, man. You know, the
Yeah.
cover of the magazine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cuffing them things, man. That
You
was
got to take me through eras at a time,
yeah,
man. You know, 'cause we crossing
yeah,
eras, we
yeah.
crossing
Yeah.
genres.
We gonna have to dive into this. So that's what this esports has.
Yeah.
These categories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we
we're
truly,
gonna have to get us more framework.
yeah,
Bro.
yeah, we got to go
Yeah,
through
we'll
this
have
with
to.
respect.
T is no different than us going to the dang gym and Charm is always on, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Charm's
another.
on
Hey, that's
today.
another 3-piece, by the way. That's another 3-piece.
3-piece Joe.
3-piece Joe.
Yes, let's go.
Oh man. So that's what's up. Yeah. So yeah, we got to go through that category with some real respect and admiration. You dig? With categories.
Yeah.
Look forward to doing that, man. So look, before we get out of here, man, let's get into a word from Motown Magic.
I bet you did not know playing basketball pleases God. Dr. James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, stated in his philosophy that the mission of basketball is to win men for the master through the gym. His idea was that missionaries would spread awareness of the sport and the good news of Jesus Christ. I identify as being one of those missionaries that Dr. Naismith envisioned. I played for the Magic growing up, where my dad was my coach. This showed me that a father figure could show up in many forms, from a stepdad to a teacher to a coach, heck, even a brother. This planted a seed deep in me as a kid from the west side of Detroit. The Motown Magic has become a platform where the relationship between father and son can grow. And also, father figures can stand in the gap for our boys whose fathers, they're not around. We built a positive environment that encouraged growth of basketball intellect, discipline, and leadership qualities. A place where accountability means more than winning. It's even created a healthy communication channel for me and my own kids. Now I'm starting to see that this private organization needs to be more public. It's going to require some expansion. Basically, we're going to need a bigger boat. And this is where you come in. If you'd like to partner with us and help out in any kind of way, visit us at MotownMagicBasketball.com. Let's discuss the ways that we can partner up. Just like I tell my boys in the huddle, if it's going to happen, it'll happen together. So, together on 3.
Man, special shout out to Motown Magic. Y'all know I love the program. Coach T, more hooping coming up. What's good, man?
You know it.
Yeah,
We're getting ready
for.
We get some tournaments going. We're probably gonna kick it off May 3rd. We also looking to play in the Adidas tournament May 11th, and so we're about to turn it up. Do a lot of more highly recognizable tournaments now to get these boys more credibility, build their profiles some more. They're ready now. We've been training for it, getting them ready. I've been ramping them up, so now it's time. We stepping up.
Nice, man. Heard that May 3rd. My wife and I celebrate 17 years of marriage on May 3rd,
All right.
man.
Congrats,
So
man.
That's super dope to hear
Congratulations.
that. Yeah, Motown Magic give us a dub for the anniversary. You dig?
Yes, sir.
Man, but look, man, we got to get out of here, man. We've been with them long enough, man.
Down the
So
road.
before we get out of here, Joe, how can the people find you on socials, man? Let them know. Hey, is that a Suburban Joe t-shirt you're wearing?
Why, yes, it is.
That's fire. Fire,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Got to get one of those. How can they get you on social media, bro?
Hey, Facebook, Instagram, Suburban Joe.
Man, make sure
You know,
follow
come
him.
find me.
Hey, I like how Joe act like it's a surprise every show. We're gonna ask him that.
Every show.
I know, I do. You know, hey, you know me. I'm a loudmouth and everything, but I don't it's not always about me. So
yeah, Joe's never good at shouting himself out, which is a good quality to have. So we'll do it for you, man. Make sure you follow Suburban Joe on all socials. You dig, and tap into the podcast. Motown Magic Basketball, man. Motown Magic Basketball. Where y'all at on the socials, bro?
Motown Magic Basketball. That's it. You can find us there, and you can find us here at Motown Sports Dad. That's where we at.
Yes, sir, man. Of course, Marcel B the MC, Marcel B_THEMC. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. I'm actually working on new duets for TikTok. More rhymes coming on the way, more songs, more music. And we just gonna keep going up and elevating, man, and vibrating at a creator's frequency. You did.
It is. You did.
But man, make sure y'all like and subscribe on the video. Follow us on Instagram at Motown Sports Dad. Shout out to Dana Rose Photography. Shout out to Level Up. Shout out to Lino Realty. Shout out to Suburban Joe. shout out to our wives, man, for putting up
Yep.
with us as we become the best sports dads that we can be, man. And as
Yeah.
always, y'all, peace.